Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first masterclass, Master Your Emotions, Master Your Life. Why do I have this here? I'm the founder of Path to Courage, and I'm a life coach and a career coach. So welcome. Unlock inner freedom, reclaim your power. That is the main theme of my coaching. You are not your emotions, you are the awareness behind them. So I'm so glad you're all here, and let's explore emotions. Whether you're feeling calm, curious, or overwhelmed, this space is for you. So let's have an icebreaker. If you can put in the chat, where are you joining from? And if your emotions were the weather today, what would your forecast be? If you can put in that, I'll get an idea of, okay, I see New Delhi, Delaware, Arizona, Toronto. Anyone else? Kingdom of Bahrain, New Jersey. Sunshine will follow soon. Okay, that's really nice. And why would you also tell me if your emotions were weather today, what would your forecast be and why? Sunny, rainy, stormy, mixed, calm. What do you think? For me, it is mixed. Two o nine AM here. Oh my God, PSG, thank you for joining. Oh, that's really nice, Himabindu. Your current weather is stormy right now, but I feel calm. Mixed. Louisa, yeah, very busy, but ready for the weekend. Yes. Okay, that's really nice. So, okay, let's go ahead and start. So I want to give a little bit background about me for those of you who are new and don't know about me. I'm a life and career coach. I'm an Indian immigrant living in California for the past 24 years. I live with a family of five, my husband, my mom, and my two boys, 20 and 13. My older son is out in college and he comes back for vacations, summer and winter vacations. And I worked in IT for 24 years, and I have been a mentor in several women organizations, ERG, employee resource groups, and women-oriented groups in our company, and have mentored a lot of women and younger junior software engineers. I've been a lead and a manager for 8 years, so I have that experience as well. And I use that in my career coaching. And I'm a certified life coach by CTA, Coaching Training Alliance, and I have 5+ years of professional coaching experience. And I've coached over 100 individuals through one-on-one sessions, and I'm a passionate speaker. I conduct several workshops, mastermind classes, and I have given over 100+ motivational talks over the five years. So I would like to start with a testimonial from one of my clients. This is Dr. Stuti Harishukla, MD dermatologist, and I want to express my gratitude to Mrs. Madhuri Garigipati. She's the person who is very close to my heart and always in my prayers. So, very few people come in your life who are selfless. And if I have to mention one very selfless person, apart from my parents, would be Madhuri ji. The way she has counseled me, the way she has consoled me, the way she has empathized with me, nobody else can do in this world apart from your parents. So I call her out of respect. She's my guru indeed. And out of love and respect, I call her my Didi. She's a blessing in my life because she's changed my perspective for everything. I am completely a different personality now. And that was the most difficult phase of my life when I met her. My father had
There was a very sad demise of my father, a sudden death out of cardiac. He was a fit, healthy man, and I was having a lot of grief. But apart from grief, that one thing that had happened was the shock that was I was undergoing through. And because I was under that shock, I was mentally not behaving in the best possible way, maybe, and everybody had seen me as a very strong, fierce business lady, a very smart girl, a very pretty looking girl. But what nobody was ready to accept that the same person is undergoing a lot of challenges in life after going through that big a shock. So I was also facing a lot of challenges because of all these things happening in my life. So I met Madhuri Garu, and Madhuri Garu was my support system. She used to listen to me for hours, and she was so selfless. She made me what I am today. She made me understand that if I increase my vibration frequency, things would change, and eventually everything actually fell in. This is Dr. Stuti Khare Shukla.
So that is one of the testimonials from one of my clients for you to get an idea of who I work with and what are the transformations they have in their lives. So I would like to start with my story on how I became a life coach, why I became a life coach, and what went through in my life. Turning Pages Healing Moods books became my path to vitality. I read a lot. I used to read, I started reading from academic books. Once I became a mom, I started reading Curious George and Thomas Train. I read everything my son read. And once my son was born, when I was pregnant with my older son back in 2004, almost 21 years ago, my father passed away when I was 7.5 months pregnant back in India. I was not able to travel because mine was a high risk pregnancy. So I was here. I went to my aunt's house in LA. My husband was not here. My brother was not here. And some of my relatives said, don't be sad. Don't cry. It is not good for the baby. I didn't know better. And it was my first pregnancy. I was really scared that I was in LA, not in my hometown. I did not even know that if needed, I could go to doctors there. There were a lot of things, a lot of mixed emotions. But the moment a couple of my relatives said, don't be sad, I was like, oh, it's not good for the baby. So, okay, shut off. I literally switched off my emotions, I guess. And I made it very, very transactional. Anybody would talk to me, I would call my mom, my brother, and I would be talking about the ritual, like these things are to be done. That's it. I never cried. For 5 years, I did not cry. I never talked about my dad. Anybody would call me to convey condolences, I would quickly change the subject. It became a trigger word. Father, anything related to father, parent, father-daughter relationship, it became really, really big triggers for me. And I did not deal with it at all. And I developed severe, 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 intense back pain. And it lasted for 5 years. I tried everything possible. Think of any medical treatment, alternative treatment, healing treatment. I did everything. I was obsessed with why is it not going down? What else can I do? I seeked best of the best in everything. I had personal trainers. I had physical therapists, personal physical therapists, Olympics, rehab, people like I do a lot of research. I guess people who are here who know about me, they know. I did all that, nothing happened. And then my husband one day, he was working in a startup, and his manager is a very good athlete. He had 2 back surgeries, and his pain did not go away. And he said he healed his back pain by reading a book called um, Healing Back Pain: The Mind Body Connection. It talks about suppressed emotions and how they can transfer into pain. He got the book on a Thursday evening at 8 o'clock from work. I read it for 4 hours. Next day morning, this is 2009. My son was 5 years old. I never talked about my dad with him. He used to ask me, how come Evan and Sam have 2 grandparents, 2 granddads, and 2 grandmoms? How come I have only 1 granddad and 2 grandmoms? I was like shocked when he used to ask these questions. I'm like, I didn't know how to answer that. And my husband would quickly come to my rescue, and he was like, hey, come on, let's go to Target. Let's get you a truck. That's how we handled it in our house. So my son, it was a Friday morning. My son came back from school. I took out all pictures of my dad. I put it on the fridge and I talked to him. I talked about my dad and I cried and cried for 2 hours straight. I was just talking about him, remembering him. You will not believe, it was a miracle. It was magic. My back pain went away like this. For 5 years, I did not have a single moment when I did not feel the pain. It became part of my body, my personality. It went away as if 100 pounds was lifted off my back. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? I was reading the book, but I was very skeptical on, come on, like, how can emotions do so much, right? I mean, you feel emotions, like more than that, I didn't know anything about it, right? That became the beginning of my research. I was so curious on how no modality in medical science or alternative medicine could fix my problem, but grief, processing grief, just took it away. So that began the beginning of my research and thesis on pain. So the concepts that changed my life later on, I guess universe thought that, okay, she's interested, she's curious, let us give her more material, more health issues to solve, more material. Let's use her as a lab rat and a subject, right? So I did that. This is my timeline. I fixed my back pain in 2009. I healed myself by reading a lot of books. I cured myself of, I reversed gestational diabetes. I was pregnant in 2011 with my second kid. Um, by 10 weeks, I went to doctor and they tested for my diabetes and I had gestational diabetes. I went through a nutritionist. I was following the food log to the dot, everything to the dot, but the blood sugar kept on going up. I didn't understand and they started me on insulin because it was too high. I used to take insulin shots and I did not like it. So at that time, I was reading The Power of Subconscious Mind. And honestly, for me, I almost feel like universe has given me an ailment and it has given me a book. It's amazing how I came across books in my life at the perfect time. Like, this is it. This is the one that is going to unlock your the key to, your problem kind of thing. So I read the book, I implemented the things, I tried, oh, this is so cool. You can program your subconscious mind. Let me do it. And within 1 month, my gestational diabetes reversed. I was not using insulin. I checked my blood sugar every single meal. After every single meal, it was normal. It was not even borderline. It was perfectly normal, right? And then I developed plantar fasciitis since my second child was born, since 2011. And so for me, okay, Power of Subconscious Mind, I read this book. I know how to, I started getting this ego, that, oh, I know I have unleashed the power to tweak my subconscious mind. I'm going to apply it everywhere. And I was like on cloud nine that, you know what, I'll be amazing. But it did not work. It did not work with plantar fasciitis. And then I realized why. Because when I had gestational diabetes, my doctor said that there is a potential that my baby also can have because, and it could harm the baby as well if I don't take the insulin shots. So I was like, that is like very close to you, right? I mean, I didn't want anything to happen to my baby. So the reason to work for the stakes were pretty high. So it worked. With plantar fasciitis, I was doubting the system. I was testing the system. I had ego issues. And I was like, let me see what happens. And I was like, A/B testing, right? It did not work, obviously, right? So then I went to see a homeopathy doctor for my son. At that time, he had severe wheezing and everything. And he's a MD from Stanford who became a homeopathy doctor. He was 77 at that time. And he told me, I was talking to him about plantar fasciitis, and I said, is there any medicine for plantar fasciitis and homeopathy? And he said, oh, you don't need for that. You just walk, take out. I had so many different kinds of footwear, something to wear in the house, something to wear outside, some insoles for shoes, different kinds of shoes. I spent a lot of money on footwear for those years. He said, no, take out all your shoes, just walk barefoot. And even your shoes and outside when you go, they have to be very, very flat, And he gave me a book called Born to Run. It is about a Mexican tribe who live uphill. It's very difficult to access them, reach out to them. this book author, he goes and he does research on them, and they run barefoot over the hill regularly, up and down, and they are the fastest runners or something like that. Basically, I forgot the details, but that book I read, and then I was like, I don't even know when the plantar fasciitis went away. I started walking barefoot from next day. I bought flat, like almost flip-flops kind of shoes and footwear outside. That's it. It's gone. So now I was like, okay. So all these things, right? Back pain, TMS, gestational diabetes, power of subconscious mind, plantar fasciitis, born to run. These all things, now I started exploring energy, emotions, frequencies, vibrations, and I explored all kinds of modalities, and I made myself a lab rat. I tried pranic healing, Reiki, emotion code, body code, what else? Quantum healing, hypnotherapy. I did every possible thing. I would find the best of the best people in those areas. I would go reach out to them. Impossible to get appointments, I would get them. I would go with them. I would work with them. All worked for some time, and then it would not. I would get something else, right? And then COVID happened. When COVID happened, I'm a very involved mom. I drive around my kids. My kids do a lot of activities and everything. Once COVID started, I was not driving them anymore, and I had 4 to 5 hours of time for myself. And my mom lives with me, so she takes care of cooking. I don't have to cook for the family. So I had all this time. Then I joined a couple of spiritual organizations from India, and I started exploring different aspects. That's when I got, at the same time, I was also reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I joined a workshop called Conscious Manifestation. I did several workshops by all these people, great minds, and I understood manifestation. I was like, what is manifestation? How do you manifest whatever you want? Ask and it's given. I started experimenting with little things, and things would happen like this. I'm like, oh my God, this is super awesome. And I started experimenting on little things, bigger things. And I was able to manifest several things in my life. And it opened up the world of possibilities that, oh my God, this is super awesome. And I wanted to share whatever I learned. So in 2020, I started a book club called Wholehearted Living. And I collected a group of like-minded women, my friends, mostly from friends, and some other people started joining in. And I would give motivational talks every weekend on what I learned. I would share what I learned, and people started coming in. And I would say, hey, do you want to see magic happen? Do you want to manifest whatever you want? And I would do workshops with them. And you will not believe the transformations that people had. They all started with, we are scared to ask for more. So they all started with, I would like to have a cat. I would like to have a red car. I would like a chauffeur driven car. I would like to have another job. I would like to have a female boss. I would like to get promoted. I would like 40% increase in my salary. All this came true. All this came true over a period of time. And they did not even realize that they were getting, because I made them write. I had all their booklets. I made them write their wish list, dream builders. And I would be like, hey, Maitri, did you realize you have a dog? You changed your job exactly with 40% raise. Now you have a female boss and you wanted a relationship. Hey, Poonam, did you know that you wanted a red car, a cat, a job? In Hyderabad, you wanted to move to Hyderabad, you wanted to live with your family. It's amazing the transformations I saw. And I was like, that when I was seeing things in people, it reinforced the concepts even more for me. And then I started experimenting again with myself. And I should say that I started living a purposeful life since 2020, I should say. And I tested on weight loss. It worked. I was obese and nothing was working out for me. And when you have something, right, when you want something, and when you stop being resisting it, and you want something and you align yourself with your core values, things just happen. They get laid out, they happen. It takes time, but you have to be patient and you have to trust that universe will deliver and it will happen. And I started losing weight. And then I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2019, 2016, 2017. So it was a series of, in case for people who don't know what is multiple sclerosis, our axons, they have this sheath on them, this one, it gets, our immune system fights with our cells and they get ruptured. So the axons get opened up, the nerve fibers get opened up. And what happens because of this is central nervous system, right? The messages don't go from the brain to all the body parts 100%. So what happens is it'll start impacting your body. It will start showing up in your body as you will have a lazy leg. Your hand will start shaking. You will not have, your knee will not lock. You will start tripping down. A lot of blurry vision. A lot of things will happen. And I happen to have lesions in my brain, neck, and entire spinal cord. I did not take it seriously. I don't usually Google health issues. I was not taking it seriously. But then what I realized was, for some reason, I was not at all scared. I was so confident that there is a reason I got this. And I have all these tools with me. I have this 10 plus years of healing myself. I was so confident that I can heal myself. I was doing yoga, I was doing chakra meditation, energy meditation, I was doing my affirmations, I was doing my journaling, and I was exploring things like why this happens, manifesting, and all that. And 2023, a new medication was newly created just 2 years after I got diagnosed. And I'm extremely lucky to be in the proximity I am where it can be prescribed for me. And I'm working directly with the inventor of that medicine right now. My neurologist is Dr. Dunn. And I started taking medication from 2019. And what the medication does is it will stop from new lesions from happening like this, but it cannot reverse whatever you already have. For me, in 2023, I had last year itself, not 2 years ago, I had a new set of MRIs and my lesions, a new sheet started forming. My lesions are shrinking and my symptoms are reversing. So I think now I'm convinced that no matter what is happening in my life, as long as my mind, my limited mind, and my negative belief system do not come in the way, I'm good. No matter what life gives to me, I think I have the support of the universe to fix it as well and use it as a tool, not as, as a limitation kind of thing. So these are the concepts that have changed my life. And I'm so curious and happy to share them with everybody else. Through this, while this was happening for me, what I realized, I started reading a lot of philosophy books. I'm extremely privileged to have born in a family with my parents' side are completely literary. My father's side, they are completely STEM focused. They are mathematicians and physics and chemistry folks, STEM, completely STEM. I got the best of both. But me being very logical person, I used to question everything. I grew up with a lot of philosophy. My summer was Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Hindu philosophy and Buddhist philosophy. Once I started my master's in Hyderabad, I started reading. I took membership in Ramakrishna Mission, and I started reading philosophical books like Jiddu Krishnamurti's Shunya, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vivekananda. I started reading those books, and those were more, I could relate to them more than Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. So, and here, as part of my journey, I started reading a lot of Western philosophy books. And my mom lives with me, so she's very, very devotional, and she knows amazing amount of our scriptures. And whatever I say in Buddhist philosophy, or Rumi said this, or this thing, Quran says this, Christianity says this, she right away draws a parallel to what it is equivalent in our Indian philosophy, Hindu philosophy, and she explains to me that. So I started going to Vedanta classes, and I started drawing parallels from Western and Hindu philosophy. And it is amazing how across cultures, it's the same concept, right? There are 4 states of consciousness. First one is life happens to me. You're in a victim state, like all these things are happening to me. My family, my circumstances, my job, my boss, my kids, my health problems. I'm helpless. I cannot do anything, right? That is fear driven. And then the next stage is life happens by me, where it is ego driven, where you are like, oh, I'm the only one who can do everything in the house. Without me, the project will not happen at work. Or without me, my kids, who will take care? My husband does not know how to do well, take care of the kids, right? So you are like thinking that everything is in my control. And you feel so guilty if anything happens, saying that, oh, only if I would have done more of this, I could have stopped it, as if things are in your control, right? Those two things are ego and fear driven. But once you come out of those stages, right, you let go of the limiting thought patterns, negative belief systems, emotions that do not serve you, you rise up. When you rise up, you will come into a place where they are on trust, they are based on love, and they motivate you. So you come from life happens by me to life happens through me. You realize that you are an instrument. You are the medium through which things are happening. It's not necessarily that, because you have to understand individually, none of us can do anything all by ourselves. We have a community. They say we need a village to raise a kid, right? We need a village for everything. Think of a morsel of rice that you're eating today, a piece of bread that you're eating today. How many people, just because you have money, do you think you can get bread? Stay in a desert with $1,000. Do you think you'll get water there? No. Unless there is somebody else, the farmer's work, the transportation, the e-commerce, everything. Think of every single person that is involved in getting the meal for you on your table. Once you start thinking like that, you will realize how minuscule you are, how dependent you are on everybody, and how everything is a community based. We all are community based. We cannot do anything without the support of another person. You feel that you think you can control things, you cannot. What if the entire support system, anything, there is a boycott in some farmers industry, what will happen? COVID, what happened? People were scared that they will not be able to get the food, right? So you understand when you come to this place that life is happening through me. You are here for a reason, like how everybody has a purpose. You realize you have a purpose, and you realize that it is your responsibility to deliver your purpose. When I say it is my responsibility to deliver a purpose, that means I'm not thinking of me, myself alone much at all. I'm thinking of, no matter what, this is my responsibility to do. I have to do this. And what happens is you will not get scared, because you know that there is a higher power working behind you, helping you every inch of the way. I'm pretty sure no matter what your belief system is, you do agree there is a higher power, there is some superpower, universe, you call it God, nature, whatever it is. There is something higher that you do not understand, which is more powerful than you, right? Because think of creation, think of waterfalls, think of tsunamis, think of hurricanes, and think of nature, think of all the beautiful creations. How did those happen? Humans did not create them, right? So that higher power is also created you, and they are supporting you. He, she, whatever your belief system is, your God, universe is supporting you. And because you have faith and belief that the God, they are supporting you, you don't feel so scared anymore. Fear goes away. You have trust, you have faith, and you start, because you are backed by that big force behind you, you're always motivated to do what you're supposed to do and deliver, right? And you feel that I will go in, my needs will be met. That's it. And then you will come to a state, once you live in this state for some time, you see miracles happening. You will see things seamlessly getting done. And you'll be so amazed that, oh my God, this is amazing, right? Once you see that happening, you come to a place where life happens as me. You realize that you and me are not different. You realize the one consciousness. You realize that you are one drop in the drop of oceans, in the ocean, right? You are a small piece, you are a part of a whole. And you do understand that we all, I always use this example that we all are like M&Ms. You are blue, I am red, my favorite color is red, I am red, you are blue, she's pink, he's yellow, other person is brown. The color is different. Entire ingredients are the same. The taste is the same. Shape is the same. Just because the color is different does not make you any different. You and I are exactly the same people. Whatever I see, if I see that we are different, whatever is different in you, that is my projection of my insecurities or my whatever I appreciate or whatever I judge, those are the things they are come as projections in your life in front of you. And those are your projects to work on. And once they are literally being the tools for you, it's like you have to fix something, you have to set up a table, and you have all the tools with you. Tools are all the people around me are given as tools for me so that I can figure out how to fix my life. So I am not here to do any good for anybody. You all are here to make me a greater person. Once you get into that consciousness, right, you'll be extremely grateful for everybody. You'll be extremely compassionate because you are here to help me out. I am grateful to you. How will you be grateful when another person is helping you out, right? So I'm extremely like, I love you for helping me selflessly. You get into that state. Once you get into that state, you are so humbled, your ego will disappear completely. Once that ego disappears, life is beautiful. It's like just really, really beautiful. So that is the 4 states of consciousness. I am here to help people understand, not that I will not change you. I will just make you realize. I will help you get in touch with your inner wisdom. I will help you realize why, if you are in a victim state, if you are in a state where you feel that you are controlling everything, if basically in those states you are unhappy, right? Because it is fear driven and ego driven. You are scared that fear is because you lose something. You are scared that if I don't control it, I will lose it. I will lose the power of it, or if I don't do it, it won't happen. I will miss this deadline. I'm going to lose that job. I'm going to lose this house. It is fear driven, right? That is the root cause of all suffering. So the reason, and I mainly focus right now, I'm focusing on women because if a woman is helped, she will be the one who will be lifting their entire family. I do help a lot of men as well, but right now I have focused, doing a focus group, a case study on women right now for the time being. And I'm looking at what is the root cause of a woman's suffering. And I even narrowed it down, my case study, to immigrant corporate working women. When I see immigrant corporate working women, what I see is a cultural conflict. You can study very well, you can get a lot of degrees, you can rise up in your career very well, but you have teenage kids at home, you have aging parents you are taking care of here back in your country, and you grew up in a different country. You came here, you are trying your best for you to accommodate in this country while raising your kids in a different culture. You yourself are in a conflict. Am I doing a good job? You don't know how much to allow your kids and how much not to allow your kids, where to discipline them, not discipline them. You're in complete conflict all the time. And if you're not in conflict, you have your parents to question your parenting. So somewhere that conflict is there. And you are constantly having to prove repeatedly to your parents, to your neighbors, to your boss, to your everybody. And there is lack of representation, right? There are still not many women. It is changing, but still not many women in the leadership roles. And because of lack of representation, lack of mentorship, you're always struggling at the top. You are like, am I doing the right thing, right? And work-life pressure, that's a whole new subject where there is always more work and less resources, right? So because of all these things, women, they suppress their emotional expression. And that is the root cause. The root cause of all the suffering, of all the pain that women go through, corporate working women or immigrant corporate working women, everybody actually, but the focus group goes through is because of suppressed emotional expression, right? And traditional ways are not working. Trust me, I told you, when I had back pain, let's see, family support. I have an amazing family. I have a very, very good support system, amazing family. Childhood, I did not have any problems. I had a wonderful childhood. Not that, when you go to a therapist or something, they'll say, go back to when you're 7 years of age, any trauma happened. I did not have any of those. So, and before my marriage, I had a wonderful family. After my marriage, I have a wonderful family. So no issues with family support. I did not suppress and try to endure. Yes, I suppressed my emotions, but I did not know I was suppressing my emotions. I know a lot of women who know they are going through pain, who know they are suppressing the emotions, knowingly they will not do anything. They will try to endure, right? It does not work. Overachievement, they'll say, you know what? All these things will keep going on. If I focus my energies in getting another degree, getting another certification, getting a higher role in work or volunteering here, there, joining a club, all this pain will go away because my focus is not there. It doesn't work. You are just deferred it. It won't cure it. Connecting with cultural communities. You'll try to join like-minded people, like either my cultural people, my country, my religion, or working moms, or high school parents, high school, whatever. Like, you will find a group of people, you'll try to connect with them, because constantly you are trying to look for, is another person in the same boat as me? If yes, what are they doing to succeed? Can I get help? Most of the people are in that circle, right? Now we have to change the approach, because obviously the traditional ways haven't. I'm pretty sure all of you would have tried that, have been there, done that kind of thing. It won't work. So the time has come to change your approach, because you cannot get away from the cultural double pressure, right? It is there. You cannot, you can complain about it, but deal with it, right? It's not going anywhere. And in your leadership at work, emotional intelligence is very important. These days, mental health has become a pretty big deal. And you realize that there are so many emotional intelligence workshops being conducted at work. Mental health workshops are conducting at work. Why? Because they want the leader to be a coach, not a boss. There are literally, I had my leads attend a program called Boss to Coach, where don't try to be a boss, be a coach instead, right? That is completely based on emotional intelligence. And once you go higher, I don't know about men, but mostly for women, when they go into a leadership circle, and if I was the only female leader in my leadership circle until another girl came, but otherwise, and I was having initially a little bit of imposter syndrome, like, oh my God. And all those people, the other men who were there, they came from very different backgrounds, very good universities, educational backgrounds, and work experience backgrounds. And I'm like, can I be a leader at the same level as them? But then later on, I realized with self acceptance, there is so much confidence that you can do a great job. You cannot do a great job until you accept yourself. If you don't accept yourself, others cannot accept you. You keep complaining how much ever you want that they are not, because I'm a woman, like, discrimination and all that. The discrimination will go away the day you accept yourself. And I experienced it firsthand. And then you also have to change your approach by aligning your inner values with your outward choices. You can preach how much ever you want. If you don't practice it, if you don't align it with your core values, I was part of a workshop where they talked about, they gave 50 values and they asked us to select what you relate with the most. And as a group, we had to do the work. And it was a 3-hour workshop. We had to narrow it down to 4 values. Those 4 values are your core values with which you work. And if you are, whatever, your career, your health, your relationships, everything, your community, whatever you are, wherever you are, if the values there do not align with your core values, you're not happy there. So it is time to check the choices you're making, the groups you're in, are you aligned with them? If you're not aligned with them, you're draining so much of your energy. So time to look at that. And then forget about perfection, please. Perfection, we all want to be perfect. We all want to do the best job. I think whoever has succeeded in life, they came there because they took pride in their perfectionism, right? But in the name of perfectionism, you are never happy. And define perfectionism. It's always relative, right? If you think you are perfect, tomorrow you'll see another person who's better than you. It's like, oh my God, that is so amazing. They are so organized. I don't like this. I have to do this more. I have to refine this more. The problem is we are constantly progressing. We are constantly learning. So there is no fixed place for perfection. It's a moving target. So embrace wholeness instead of perfection. Embrace and see, today, this is the best I can do. I'm okay with this. If you're not well, if your best today is 10% of your best on your best day, you should be okay with it. Try doing that, and that will change a lot of things. And community and belonging, they start from within. Do you belong? Do you feel that you belong with yourself first? We often are the biggest critics for ourselves. We don't like ourselves. We are like, oh, I'm not thin enough. I'm not fair enough, my skin is not smooth enough, or I'm not smart enough, I'm not tall enough. We always have a problem with everything. We are the biggest, my kids are not this enough. We always are the biggest critics of ourselves. Unless we accept ourselves, we belong within our own definitions of success and status, we don't feel that we belong anywhere else. We always feel lost, right? So with that information, I want to give one more testimonial of my client.
Hi everyone, I'm Shanti. I recommend Madhuri Garu's mentorship to everyone. Whenever I have a question or a tough situation, I reach out to her. With her expertise and experience, she will allow me to think things in a different perspective and come out of the cocoon. Every workshop of hers has set of exercises and practices. This allows me to declutter my mind. Till date, if there is any situation that I need to take a decision, I just go back to my notebook exercises and I just write down all the answers, and that's it. I just get the clear direction on what to do and I act on them. Thank you, Madhuri Garu. My best wishes to you and all your students. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Okay, let's pause here a little bit and see if you have any questions, comments. Any questions, comments so far?
Thanks, Madhuri. It was awesome, as you always do and motivate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deepti. Okay, then let's continue and let's see. So today I have 3 concepts I'm going to share with you. Emotions show up in our bodies, emotions hold us back, and transformations when we let go of these emotions. It's amazing to see. Emotions show up in our body. As I talked to you before, how my body is a perfect example of how I healed everything by processing emotions. This is a study done by NIH, National Institute of Health. They did a heat map on people. They asked like, what is the emotion that you're going through? And they scanned their bodies and they asked them, what are the symptoms you're going through? And it matched with the heat map, right? So when you're the yellow and red is the active areas of your body where there is a lot of energy, and blue and black is completely inactive. I saw this image. I read an article on NIH. I read it in, I think, 2021 or something. I was completely blown away when I saw depression. Sadness, depression, anxiety, shame, envy, neutral. People say, actually, this is a very big misconception that, oh, I'm a neutral person. I don't have an opinion. There is a difference between equanimity, like I don't get too agitated or I don't get too sad. That is a different thing compared to you don't do anything. You don't have an opinion about anything, right? So when you see this, and at that time I was coaching a couple of people going through depression. And actually this article is based on my research on, I was trying to understand what is depression. And one example, one of the psychologists who was expert in depression, he wrote that when people are depressed, they themselves don't understand. Let's say a very active person, very intelligent person who is like very good at doing everything at their job, work, school, whatever, they go through depression. They don't understand why they're not able to do things, why they feel helpless, why they feel hopeless, why they feel, I don't know, I'm not able to get up. So that person, he tried to explain that people, for the family of the people who have depressed people, right? How you have to see them is they are sitting in a wheelchair, invisible wheelchair. They themselves cannot see, you cannot see, but imagine them in a wheelchair where their hands, legs, everything are tied. And let's say there is a fire or something, right? You're like, oh my God, there is a fire, there is an earthquake. Go, run, get out of the house. They want to, they know, understand, mentally they understand the threat. They want to move, but they cannot move because everything is tied up. And you as an observer, you're like, are you insane? There is a fire, there is an earthquake, come on, get up, run. Because you see they are perfectly fine. They can get up and run, but they cannot. So once that I read that article about that, I understood why after looking at this image. It was really moving. And my perception of depression and my perception of anxiety completely changed after I saw this heat map. And if people who are interested, I can send the article which explains everything in detail. But this is how emotions show up in our body. It is not, and look at happiness. Look at happiness and love. Every inch of your body is positive. It is happy. It wants to do nice things, right? You're energetic. And the emotions that you don't process, they show up as psychosomatic illnesses, headaches, high blood pressure, fatigue, back pain, skin issues, chest pain, autoimmune. Oh my God, autoimmune disorders, it's a whole area of things of how many. Every time I talk to somebody and I hear about their autoimmune disease, I never heard of it before. I'm like, oh, MS, I did not know. I did not know that. I'd never heard the word MS. And I actually know one of my friends who got MS. She said MS. I don't even know. I think I knew the full form or what it is. I knew she had MS. That's all. And I was not in touch with her for a long time. This is how things come in your body. But the good news is pills, some healings, all those things are band-aid things. They won't work. Process your emotions. All these things will be fixed. Emotions that are holding us back. Emotions hold you back. And there are specific emotions that hold you back. What are those emotions? And I usually group them as 3 phases because this is how I work with my clients, right? When I'm talking to them, I do an assessment. I see where they are, which bucket they fall into, and then I use the exercises accordingly for helping them to come out and process those emotions and come out of it. Shame, guilt, and grief. Fear, desire, and anger is one bucket, and pride, ego, and jealousy is the other one. And what I realized after I read a lot of philosophy books. I read Buddhism, Stoicism, Christianity, Rumi, Hinduism. I read a lot of philosophy to understand, like, is it only told in Hinduism? I was skeptical, right? Like, let me see what other philosophies say. Across cultures, I found one common thread that in some form, these set of emotions are either treated as enemies. In Hinduism, they are called Shadripu or Arishadvargalu. Kama, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. These are the Sanskrit words for exactly these. 6 enemies. They are called 6 enemies. They won't help you. They hold you back. Once you let go of them, you have peace. In Buddhism, it is called klesha. Klesha means, it's a Sanskrit word again, they are called impurities. Impurities, they're called mental impurities because they cloud the mind from taking the right action. In Christianity, there are 7 sins, right? Pride, ego, gluttony, all those things. So, yes, I need to let go of these emotions. But why are they so bad? But when you think of it, common man is filled with these emotions day to day. Most of the times we are in these emotions. We are going through some form of shame. I'm not good enough, or I'm ashamed of this. I don't fit in. Some form of that is always there with respect to at least one area of our life. And we have guilt. Oh, as a mom, I did not do this. My kid is sick and I'm going to work. Or my mom is in India and I'm not able to take care of her. Grief. Grief is not just loss of people, loss of loved ones. It is you lose a job, you moved from a place that you lived in for a long time. You're missing the entire neighborhood. You moved a different job, even though it's a good thing, you got a raise, but you are still missing your entire people from the previous job. Grief could be a lot of things. So if you see day to day, I'm going through almost all of these emotions on a daily basis. And if you ask me, if you look at this emotional guidance scale, They did a lot of research on the energies associated. So emotion is energy in motion. If you don't do anything, these emotions come, these feelings come. If you don't dig yourself when you're in, they say don't dig when you're in a ditch, right? If you don't do anything, they move out faster. It seems each emotion has a capacity of staying with you for 90 seconds. If you don't do anything, it will go out of your body. You can feel ashamed of something, but if you don't associate with it and go swirling into, oh my God, I'm always like this. I'm not good enough. Not just here in school. Also, I was like this. At work, I was like this. Why am I like this all the time? If you don't go into that spiral, their capacity is 90 seconds. Can you imagine? In 90 seconds, they can get out of your system. Imagine how much energy is needed to hold them down. How much energy we are literally suppressing them down with so much energy. It's not even funny. And then thought, when you think about thought, it seems it has a power of staying in your system, in your mind for 10 minutes if you don't entertain it. If you don't entertain it, a thought can stay with you a max of 10 minutes. That means we have the power to let things go if you don't entertain them. Why do we entertain them? Am I like, is it funny? Like, do I want all this nonsense? Why do I entertain them? Because of our cultural conditioning, our societal conditioning, the need to fit in, the need to belong, the socialized mindset. Like, I want to please you. I want you to think good of me. I want you to praise me, right? All those are the reasons we suppress the emotions. We entertain them. We entertain our thoughts. Our thoughts and feelings create behaviors. We behave in a certain way where we don't like our own behaviors. Why? Because they are driven by the thoughts and feelings which we don't want. But we are in a victim mode. We are like in survival state where we are not empowered enough to clear them, right? Dr. David Hawkins, he created something called a map of consciousness where he gave an energetic log. So if you see all these emotions, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, and anger, they fall under survival paradigm. And I'm pretty sure most of you might have heard of law of attraction. This is energy. It is physics, right? You're vibrating at a certain frequency. You have access to that. Consider like, you want to feel better. You want to attract good things in your life. You have to learn to vibrate at a higher level. Unfortunately, we keep vibrating at a lower frequency and we want something that is at a higher frequency. How can you get it when it is out of your reach? It's like radio station, right? You want to hear, let's say, classical piano comes on FM 101 on Saturdays at 1 p.m. That is it. It comes on Saturday, 1 p.m. FM 101 station. You tune to it, you will be able to listen classical piano. You cannot keep in another frequency and say, I'm not able to listen classical piano. I never get what I want. It is not fair. My brother is listening to classical piano. I cannot listen to classical piano. You can rant how much ever you want. The only thing you need to do is tune it to the right frequency. You tune yourself to the right frequency. You vibrate at the right frequency. You will get whatever you want. It's that simple. And when I say it is that simple, it is literally that simple because we have the ability to let go of these emotions. There are so many tips and tricks that I can help you with that you can just get out of it. I'm not saying because I know all the tips and tricks, I'm like all this peace Zen person. No, I have life. I get angry. I get ashamed of things. There are those things. But because I have practiced this thing so many times, I can get out of it very faster. Like Shanti was just telling, whenever she has an issue, I gave her something called 5 questions in an option method, where I ask her, answer these 5 questions. It is literally actually on my notice board. I have it in front of me. I made it a habit for me. I answered those 5 questions and I'm out of that situation. I get a solution on why I'm acting this way. I get to see what is my blocking patterns here, right? And sometimes, even though we have, let's say I tuned it perfectly, 101 FM, I am at 1 o'clock Saturday, but I hear a lot of static. Let's say I'm inside a tunnel. I'm at a place where there is no good reception. What is that parallel in our life? We are in chaos. We are surrounded by chaos. So how do you listen to it? You get out of that chaos. You distance yourself from the chaos. If you are surrounded by people, and you can say, oh yeah, you are telling all these things. If it's different people, strangers, I could do that. But what will I do if it is my family members who are creating all the chaos? There are methods. There are methods where you can still be yourself. You can still be calm in the chaos. There are a lot of things. You can do boundaries. You can see what is in your control. You can let go of what is not in your control, and you can still, there are a lot of techniques. So it is like this, right? Emotions that are holding back are these emotions. You let go of them, you'll be very happy in your life. So how do I help with people I talk to and the transformations I have seen along with myself and others is I look at the emotional layers. When you look at the emotion, first, obviously, when I'm talking to people, they tell me their story. They tell how they are feeling. They tell me, you know what, I get a lot of headache whenever this happens. I get so frustrated and my heart races or my entire body starts shaking. So that is biology, right? How and why emotions show up in your bodies. And while you are telling me, I understand that. If you yourself are not understanding the link between what emotion is causing which bodily reaction, I help you see it. And then biography. It's not completely in your control, and it's not your conscious choice you're making for feeling a certain way. It is the people around you. They shaped your beliefs, and not the people around you right now. It could be, let's say, I came from a very happy family. I never saw my parents fight. I never knew that a couple would fight. After I got married, I never saw Hollywood movies, by the way. Very little, like, Apollo 13 or Mahatma Gandhi, like things like that. I never saw many English movies until I got married. After I got married, my husband started showing me a lot of English movies and Hollywood movies. And once I saw, he was out to work, and I saw in TV that Sleeping with the Enemy was coming, Julia Roberts. And that movie, I don't know if you people know that there is domestic violence involved. The moment I saw the first scene where the husband slaps the wife and she falls down, I switched it off. I felt as if I had seen a ghost, and I was like, oh my God, is this possible? Husband can hit a wife? Oh my God, will Rajesh hit me? I was in tears and I was so scared that day. I was in Bangalore alone at the time. And my husband came and I'm like, Rajesh, will you ever hit me like this? I'm like, what? And he's like, oh my God, you don't know any families. I was like, does this happen in real life? It's like, you don't know that this happens in real life? I said, no. And he right away, my mom literally raised me in a bubble. She protected me so much. I never knew anything bad that was happening around me. I was so happy. I was in my own world. I used to read a lot of books. I used to stay in the house. I never went college, home, school, home. That's it. Relatives' house at the max. I never even went to my friend's house. That's how I was raised. So, but then even I have some conflicting things that are not directly from my family, because later on, as I grew up, I saw my neighbors. I saw these movies. That created an impression on me. So we never know where our belief system, how our belief system is formed and how it created an imprint in your subconscious mind. All those things, they create connections between your feelings, your thoughts, and your behaviors. So when I talk to people with open-ended questions, I help them understand their biography of what is the conflicting thought that is making you behave like this. What is the limiting thought pattern? What is the negative belief system that you're working with, right? That is the biography. And then behaviors. Another great thing is we tend to gravitate towards certain behaviors, whether you're positive behaviors or negative behaviors, is because then there are exercises to understand who do you like the most. Some people like sports, some people like music, some people like movies, entertainment, some people like cooking. How is it that we gravitate towards certain things, whether in a positive way or negative way? And there is a reason for it. We try to see what is your thought, what are they your projections? Are you projecting onto something? They say that if you, let's say I really like a very good singer. I really like Shreya Ghoshal, Hindi Bollywood singer. When you like somebody so much, there is an element in you which has the possibility to become that person. That is the reason you are gravitated towards that. Again, the same thing as negative and positive. If you really hate something, there is an element in you which has a potential of becoming that, and you are scared that you will become that. That is why you hate the other person so much. Otherwise, you know how when some people are not at all triggered by certain things, and some people are very, very triggered. That is because of those tendencies, right? And then what's the backstory? The context of the thoughts and feelings. Our thoughts and feelings always have a context. People, they say, I'm an anxious person. No, you're not. I'm a depressed person. No, you're not. I get anxious when so and so thing happens. You are not a completely anxious. You are saying you're never happy. Nothing makes you ever happy. Nothing makes you ever calm. You go to a calm, serene place and it does not calm you down. So the context of, in a particular context, some of your feelings come up. As long as you understand that context, automatically you have made your big problem into a small problem and you have something concrete to work on. So that is the context and backstory you need to work on. So these are the 4 emotional layers I usually work with. And it is amazing when you break it down. It is literally like a science. It is, every person I work with is like a research subject. And it is amazing when I work with them and we explore things. It's just beautiful. So this is one more testimonial I have for you.
Hi friends, this is Jay Krishnan from Kuwait. This is a testimonial from my beloved life coach, Mrs. Madhuri ma'am. I have attended numerous sessions by Madhuri ma'am, mainly as part of one-to-one work sessions or as part of group workshop. Maybe since she's also based out of US and from the software background, she was able to relate to my professional challenges and issues which I have been facing in my career path. She has helped me a lot in overcoming these challenges through the various workshops and personal sessions. I strongly recommend anyone looking for a life coach to approach Madhuri ma'am and go through her sessions, and the results are tremendous. And it has helped me in transforming my career progression.
Let me pause here a little bit. Any questions or comments? Thanks, Louisa. Any questions, anyone? Come on, don't be shy.
Hi, Madhuri Sharma here. I
Yeah,
want
go
to
ahead.
know in one of these slides, that is emotions that we that are holding us back.
Mhm.
You showed us 3 combinations. One is a shame, guilt, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, ego, jealousy. They can crisscross, isn't it?
Yes, they can. But usually when we are working with them, right, we see that when they are somehow connected as well, in the sense that shame and guilt are connected. Usually when at least that's what I have seen, that when I'm talking to people, right, if I'm talking to them and they say that they are ashamed of something or they are not good enough, why are they not good enough? Then there is usually guilt that comes across. They are like, I want to be good enough, I want to do this, but I feel that if I take care of myself and do this, so basically when I ask them, what is holding you back? You want to do this, you're ashamed of this, you want to change it. Okay, what is holding you back? They're like, I want to take care of this, but if I feel that if I take time to do this, then I feel guilty of leaving my kids, not taking time, like, using that time that I have to associate for my kids. I'm doing that. And when you have grief, also it is associated with guilt and shame, because if you have a person, if you're missing your family, or especially like death of a loved one or something, right? Your parents, especially for immigrants, when your parents are in other country and you are here, you're not able to take care of them. And with grief also comes a lot of guilt and shame. You're like, had I been there, I would have taken my dad to the hospital at the right time and this wouldn't have happened. So something like that. Usually these are associated with each other. So as you peel off the layers, one by one, something else comes up, something else comes up. And until you
Okay.
have gone for removing each one of them, you're not completely clear of it.
Okay. Thanks, Madhuri.
That's a good question. Any other questions? Okay. So I have one last thing to give you. It is sorry. Somebody else has a question?
Thanks, Madhuri, for taking your time to do this session with us. I have a question related to manifestation and affirmations, right?
Okay.
How do I know if my manifestation is coming from a place of confidence or fear?
If you have self-doubt that do I deserve this or not? Will this come true or not? If you have those questions, then it is coming from self-doubt and fear. If you don't have any problem, if you're aligned with it, you are so confident that it will happen, and you are okay with whether it happens or not, when you're at a state of that detachment to the outcome, that's when you know it is coming from a place and it will happen. Because I did it, right? I tried and I was like, let me test it out. And whenever I wanted to test it out and I had that self-doubt that, come on, this will never happen, but let me try it out, do the manifestation techniques that I know it never came true.
So did you feel discouraged at that time when you said, you
No.
were manifesting, but you still, you feel discouraged because you don't see anything coming through?
Yes. I mean, yes and no, because so I did two things, right? For my weight loss, after I reversed my gestational diabetes, I tried to do the same manifestation for weight loss, and it did not happen. That time I was discouraged. It's like, because I was so confident. Again, that is ego, right? I was like, I'm able to do this gestational diabetes. My doctors, my gynecologist was so surprised. This never happened. And they were like, oh my God, tell me more about this. And I was like, yes, I did this. And I was like, that's it. Everything in my life, I'm going to do it. So, and weight I was obese, and that was a very big problem for me. It was bothering me a lot. So I tried it. It did not happen. And I was like, oh my God. But then I was like, okay, let me see what else is there. So I got curious and I quickly moved on. I'm not a person who will sit and sulk a lot. I'm always like, there should be something else. So I moved on.
Can you share any of your affirmations if you do them daily? Can you share your daily affirmations if you may?
So I actually did a lot of affirmations. I have two sets of affirmations. I do a gratitude journal. It's called a 6-minute diary. I use this. I recommend this to all my clients. It's like wonderful, wonderful diary. Here, every day I use a jackhammer approach of same affirmation every day, so that it gets into. I am not a devotional person. I am more of a spiritual person. I'm not a devotional person. I don't do religious activities every day. I know there is God, but somewhere there is also like, how can God come and help me kind of thing. So, but I do want to become more God understanding person. So these days, the only affirmation I'm writing in every single day is, God is with me every step of the way. I feel like that encompasses everything else. The moment I believe that God is with me every step of the way, then God will give me, or universe, God or universe, you can write whatever your belief system based on your belief system. When I say that, I will get what I need in this moment, not what I want. Because sometimes what we want might not be right for us. God might have something else in store for us, which is more beneficial, which might not look at the surface, but it is more beneficial. Now, for weight loss, what I understood was, my weight was not losing because it was working as a protective security blanket for me, because I didn't process some of the emotions. It didn't want me to get hurt. It wanted me to feel safe. That is the reason I was not losing weight. So I processed some emotions and my weight loss started happening. So it is like, when you're manifesting something, right? It cannot be contradicting things. You haven't processed your emotions. You want it to hold back. You need something to hold it back. And that something might be your whatever problem is. and then you are saying, I want this to happen. Two contradicting things cannot happen. So you need to believe what you want. And one book is Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. It actually gives you the reason of your health problem, like what emotions you are suppressing, what behaviors you are doing. And there is another book called Messages from the Body by Michael Johnson or somebody. Those two books, they actually explain your behaviors and the emotions behind them. And then they give an affirmation on how you can change your thoughts, how you can change your belief system. So I can give you the link to those two books, and those things will help you align with what you're asking for. The only solution is you need to align what you're asking for, and it will work. Otherwise, it won't.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, oh my God, it's 5:20 already. So I have two tools to handle emotions. These are quick things that you can get out of any emotional chaos you're in. Of course, you need to do the deep dive and do a lot of analysis for a clear thing, but these are quick tools. One thing is called emotional map, and the other one is how to quickly come out of any overwhelm, worry or overwhelm. And I'm not doing this. So let's talk about emotional map. Any emotional crisis you are in, you can ask 3 questions. It's like literally a navigational map, right? Where am I right now? Let's say I'm extremely exhausted, overwhelmed, and worried. How did I get here from there? Where was I? So where was the last good feeling I had? Let's say I woke up in the morning all excited and everything. That is the nearest good emotion that I remember. How did I get from there to where I'm here right now? So throughout the day, what happened? I went to work. I was expecting a promotion, the decisions or whatever was released, and I did not get promoted. My colleague got promoted who does not deserve it. I deserve it more than him. That ruined my day, right? And then I come home, I'm extremely frustrated, and I come home and I hear that my kid is sick. Now, it's a mix of all emotions, right? Now you understand that once you analyze that, how did I get here from there? You have understood or observed what are the things that have changed your emotion from happy to sad or okay to worrisome or overwhelmed. Now, how do I get there from here? How do I reset myself? How do I go back? That's when you understand, you sit and understand what is happening with this promotion. What is it that I can do now, right? To answer the last step, how do I get there from here? How do I go back, reset myself to a good emotion? I give this exercise to all my clients. It is, what am I worried about? I'm worried that I did not get promoted when I deserved it. What is in my control? Look at the picture here on the right side. Out of my control are the past, the future, the actions of others, the opinions of others, what happens around me. These are all out of my control. What is in my control? My thoughts and actions, the goals I set, how I speak to myself, what I give my energy to, my boundaries, right? These are in my control. So once you understand what is out of control and what is in your control, there are only a few things that are in your control. Within this, next question is, what can I let go of? What is it that I can let go of? You can let go of all the things that are out of your control. You can let go of all the emotions that are ruining your day, which are triggered by that. I'm extremely angry at my manager. Yes. What will you achieve by being angry? Instead, convert that anger into, what is my next step? What is the one step I can take now? Maybe I should start searching for a job elsewhere. Maybe I should start searching for a job within another team. What is the one step you want to take, right? So when you answer these 4 questions, look at these circles, right? In positive psychology, these are called circles of compliance. If you look at these circles, what you're worried about is this very big circle. The moment you answer these 4 questions, you will come to a place where there is a small circle. The overwhelm has come down and you have taken one step towards something. You have set some intention. You end from what I'm worried about to, at least I did something about this. I'm doing something about this. Your overwhelm converts into an action-oriented mindset. So these two exercises, I think anybody can do it, but you have to do it, keep doing it. Remember to keep doing it over and over, and they are going to really help you. There is one more testimonial. I'm going to skip
So many things
this
in my life would have been much better than
for the sake of time. So I think the key to unlock your emotional freedom is within you. If this rings a bell with you, and if you like the outcome of this, then let me know, put it in the chat, and I am giving 5 free discovery sessions, complimentary sessions to the people who sign up. So if you're interested, do put it in the chat, and I can give you my Calendly link, and we can set up a time and we can meet. Okay. So final tips and takeaways are, let's be conscious of our emotions. Everything boils down to your emotions, no matter what it is, no matter how difficult it is, everything boils down to emotions. Practice observing ourselves and others. We need to see where our responsibility, emotional responsibility, ours begins and the other people's end, right? We have to be very, very cautious of, is somebody responsible for our emotional chaos, or are we responsible for it? Try to observe that, use the emotional map, see what is in your control, let go of it, look at all the emotional layers, changing the context 90% of the time solves most of the problems, right? And release the emotions that no longer serve you. I think these things will really help bring peace little by little into your life. Thank you. Any questions, comments? I'm going to post my Calendly link in the... Thank you, Luisa. Any final comments before we wrap up the session?
Thank you so much, Madhu, for doing this. All the best and best wishes for everything. I think overall, what I get out of this is generally we tend to be in that autopilot mode. If we pause, really self reflect our emotion, why we are reacting the way we are reacting, and how we can remove ourselves sometimes from emotion probably helps. It's definitely trying for everyone, right? Like some days are better than the other. But having that awareness always helps. So thank you. It's a great session.
Yes, very well said. That's so true. Yes,
And
I'll definitely send the links. I have all of your emails, so I'm going to send the book recommendations I said in the email. I'm going to send up a follow-up email to everybody. I'm going to send the 2 tools I talked about, and I'm also going to send you the link of books for books.
Yeah, Madhuri.
Yeah.
If you share the link to us, can we pass on to somebody who is interested?
Exact question I was going to ask.
Yes, you can definitely, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I have a couple of questions. Sorry to hold you back. And
no, go ahead, please.
First thing is, any suggestions you asked? Whatever you talked about, all these emotional feelings, they're not sex dependent. It can happen to men, it can happen to women.
Yes.
But keeping your here, I'm seeing empowering women. So does it mean you are not entertaining any other?
No. I am entertaining everybody. It's not that I'm restricting to women, but my case study, my mission statement is to help all the women, if possible, as many women as possible. But that this banner and the material is all because of the case study I'm working on right now. It is mainly focused for women. I have to find some market to focus my energies on. That's the only reason I'm saying. And me being a woman, I think I connect with women better. I know I've been talking to you and you understand and you relate with whatever I'm saying as well. I'm really glad. But me being a woman, I think when I talk to other women, when somebody comes and says that I'm a working mom, I always feel guilty. I really understand where they are coming from. And I have examples for those. So that said, I did help a lot of men as well. But yeah, everybody's welcome.
Yeah, the next question is the trust and believing the God. Logic and believing in the God. How you handle that one? Because you came from the same background, logic versus surrendering.
Yes.
So it is conflicting because always logic, what is going to happen, why it is like this. Always it is as a scientific proof you are looking for. Suddenly you shift to, hey, this is not in my hands. Only God can help me. How that switch, even though it is easier to say that one, but practically shifting from that mode to the surrender mode.
I think it happens with experience because I am a very left-brained person. I am from STEM background. For me, what I realized, okay, let me put it in a scientific way for you. What I realized is when you say 1 + 2 is 3, it makes sense to me. But the moment my life, I tried all the scientific methods. Medicine, it said, no, we cannot cure you, right? I tried everything, and how is it possible that medicine was not able to cure my problem? Then I realized that my equation is not 1 plus. So what I'm seeing is not 1 + 2 is 3. I have been seeing that 1 + 2 is 20. I'm like, okay, or whatever. Why is it? It's not making sense to me. Then I realized that it is not 1 + 3 is 10 or something. It is x + 3 is 10. I have to find x. My belief came from searching for that x. My research is all about what else am I missing? There is some other variable which is not fitting in science. What is that variable? And right now, if you see, it is not surrender actually. What I'm doing is not, again, my mom is very devotional. She can completely surrender. For everything she'll say, she likes Lalita Devi. She'll say, my goddess will take care of me. She has this immense belief system. It's so amazing. And for her, you'll not believe things come as if in a red carpet. She'll say this will happen and it will happen for her. And she's not even worried that whether it will happen or not. The faith removes the fear in her. And she is somebody who's really scared of a lot of things. For me, even now, I have this. I'll tell you, I'm a control freak. Yesterday, I went to my neurologist for a follow-up, and he usually says, let go of your hand. He will put my hand and he wants to do some neurological tests to see, responses, how they are going on. He'll say, let go. He'll put his hand here and say, let go of your hand. I'm doing this. I cannot let go. He said, you're a control freak. I consciously cannot make my hand sloppy. I'm doing it. I'm like, ma'am, let go of your hand. Let go of your hand. I'm holding it. Let go of your hand. So I am that kind of a person. But what I understood is that variable, which was not making sense to me, I started solving for that variable. Solving for that variable is what I understood is my emotions. My belief systems are the ones that is causing it. So I started excavating, literally digging deep and seeing which emotion is causing the problem. Let me bring that back. So as I solved for that X, that is what, and then when I saw those X's, right? When I saw this emotion is causing the problem, I let go of that emotion, magic. That made me surrender to and I started moving towards this Vedanta and listening to all those things, right? I'm like, oh my God, this is when I understood the science behind habit creation. It's like, oh, and you can tweak your subconscious mind. When I look into all these concepts, right? I'm like, okay, there is something bigger than me. The burden is not on me. How easy it is if I tell you that I can delegate this. I don't have to do everything. There is somebody else who can do it. And actually, a lot of philosophies, they say we are human being, not doing. You just be yourself. All you need to do is you have to be yourself. That's all you have to do in this life. You can say, oh, can I just sit here? You cannot sit here. Even if you want to, you cannot sit here. You will be yourself. Don't worry about the outcome. Things will happen. things will shape up the way they will, once you come to that, and you can test it. I did test by letting it go, by not doing things. When in problem, when in doubt, don't do anything. I implement I tell my kids that, and it works so amazingly well. And you need to understand, you can dig deeper, like Sri Lakshmi was asking, how do you manifest, right? I'll give you an example. My son in 2021 or something, he was doing an online debate. He's the president of the debate club at that time in high school. He was debating with Stanford team, and he was like, completely forgot. He signed up 25 people from Dublin High School, and he did not. With Stanford, with every other tournament, it's okay to do last minute drops, like people who don't show up, there is cancel the registration fee. With Stanford, it does not. And he had to pay $2,200 because he forgot to cancel all the students who canceled last minute. He's being the president of the club. They won't charge him, they will charge the school. So school will get a bill of $2,100, and there's a huge explanation he has to do because he didn't do his job of the president. So he was participating in the tournament. He came in the morning and he said, Amma, and he was very sad, $2,100, Amma, I don't even know what to do. I said, okay, I will pay, I will take care of it. You go into the tournament. And then I was experimenting with this manifestation. I wanted to manifest. Luckily, because I wanted to manifest, I was a judge for the pool. My turn did not come. That session, I was not selected as the judge. So I had 3 hours time. So I went and I picked one manifestation video, and I started manifesting. When I started manifesting and saying the intention, why do you need this? One thing is, what will happen? Like, what will happen? First of all, why should they remove the fine? What he did was wrong, right? Why should they remove the fine? Then I started thinking, why should universe remove the fine? And then I started thinking, and I went into the place where I thought, because he's a very passionate debater, he has taken the school from no place to 14th place in the nation. From 5 people, he improved the debate club to 200. Look at all the things, positive things that are happening for him. And if this experience happens to him, he will lose faith. He will get scared. He will not be motivated to be president next time. And if he does not become president next time, it's a huge miss for the school. So how many people will be impacted if this does not happen? And if it actually drops it, how many people will it help? And this might also shape his journey, future, like whether I should take up this responsibility or not. So I was thinking of all these thoughts of, literally I was debating, right? I was debating with God. I was debating with universe of why you should do it, why you should not do it. I went into the place of, okay, I think for all these reasons, you have to remove this fee. And if you do not remove the fee, that's fine. He will learn a lesson, and let's see what will happen. I came to the place where I let go of my control of, I need this to happen. At first, I started with, I needed this to happen. But as I started reasoning myself, I let go of that. I came out of I had tears in my eyes. I was crying insane. I did not know I was crying. I came out of this thing, and I told Pranav, I wrote it in a sticky note and I gave it to him, that I want you to thank the administration of Stanford, debate administration of Stanford, for dropping the fees. Assume that it is already done and be grateful. And go into it peacefully. I am telling you it will get dropped. Say that and then come. He said that. He finished his round and he comes to me and says, Amma, they dropped the fees. And this is not one. So many times it happened where I actually sat there in a debate with God or universe on why you should do this. So I would challenge you that do it. Ask yourself, why should universe or God help you remove whatever problem you have or give whatever you want that you don't have? And the moment you answer those questions, you will come to a place, because come from a very unbiased, neutral point of view, right? Not just your selfish motive. Neutral point of view, why should God give you this? What will you do if you are given a second chance? This is a second chance, right? If God or universe gives you a second chance to redeem yourself, what is it that you're going to do? And why will I invest? It's literally a business transaction. Why am I going to invest in you? what am I going to get out of it? How are you going to use that second chance? I think once you're clear about it, you'll start manifesting whatever you want. And you will also come to a place when things don't happen, you realize that something, and if you have patience, you will realize something much better than what you could have asked for happened. And if you are in tune, if you are mindful, you will be amazed with it and you will be able to connect the dot. Oh my God, I asked for that, but I got this. I did not get it at that time, but I got this.
Thanks, Madhuri.
Yep. Thank you, Vaishnavi. Okay, it's 5:38. I'm sorry I took a lot of time.
Actually, Madhuri, that is Sujata Vaishnavi's mother. She's
Okay.
my friend. So the account is on her daughter's names, the Zoom account. So
Okay. Thank you,
living
Sujata.
very close to us here. So
okay. So thank you everyone for coming. Thanks a lot. And I have dropped the meeting link here. If you want, you can book a time to have a session with me, and I can come up with a roadmap for you. What we can do in that session is I can quickly come up with a roadmap for you. Whatever your issue you're having, we can walk through it, and I can come up with a quick roadmap and give you some tools and tricks on how to overcome any issue you're having. So that will help you understand how I work with my clients. Okay.
one more question, Madhuri.
Yes.
Is there any way you can share this video?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I have to record it and upload it and everything. Yes, I will let you know.
Sure.
And Madhuri, for the Calendly invite, the time zone is whatever time zone we are in, or is it PST?
It is in PST, but let me know if the time zone, if it does not work for you. Right now it is in Pacific time. Yes.
Okay.
If it does not work for you, any of the times that does not work for you, let me know. I will open up a few more slots.
Yeah, I think this is good. Thank you. I just needed the clarification on the time zone.
Yep. Thanks for asking, actually. That is in Pacific time zone.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Let's wrap it up. And I will send you an email with follow-up of all the books I talked about and some of the tools I gave you. I'm going to send you those links. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bindu.
Thank you, Madhuri Garu.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepti.